Michael Brun is a true cultural polymath, a Haitian DJ and producer who's been blending dance music with Caribbean roots for years. He started out on violin and piano before switching gears into the DJ stuff. At one point, he even planned on becoming a doctor after attending medical school. But thank goodness he chose beats over hospital rounds. Since then, he has been steadily building his name and his label, Kid Coconut. But with Family or FAMI Volume 1, it looks like he is reached a new tier, bigger, bolder, more global. I forgot who used to have this, like Mr. Worldwide, kind of like Pitbull, right? The global moniker. Um, but he's doing the same sort of thing, bringing a lot of different cultures together, um, but all centered around and celebrating and promoting Haitian culture. Uh, shout out to him. Bio Festival was started off as these like block parties in Haiti. Um, he's always considered himself this cultural ambassador, and to the point where now this thing is happening at the Barclays Center in New York, selling that place out. Um, he he even did a like when they had Flag Day down in Miami. He was at the Marlins Stadium. I think he gave like a speech or something there at Marlins Stadium, and all of it is rooted in promoting Haitian culture, Haitian music, and influencing um, the popular culture the same sort of way that um, um, Afrobeats sort of infiltrated. So he's on the forefront of one of these people that are like bringing that sound to the main culture, bringing that sound to the fore. Sound that I grew up on, being infused in typical pop cultural stuff. There's even a track on here with um what's that not reggaeton with reggaeton influences on there. Pop, freaking reggae music, of course, heavily up in this joint. Brun continues to build these bridges. These tracks have artists from all over the Caribbean, Latin America, and Africa. They come together. The instrumentation, the percussion, all makes sense. He pulls it all together, all wrapped around a compa, la la, um, reggae adjacent um, atmosphere that he creates throughout this whole thing. There are some moments of pop and R&B that's in there, but of course that's still just going to be like the American influence because we all black, right? You'll hear the textures, particularly when it comes to the layering of the percussions and the vocal styles on this thing. That's how you'll. It's unmistakably world music, um, Caribbean heavy for sure. It's 30 minutes. It's 11 tracks, so it's not a big commitment to get through. Um, it means that though that Brun had to be focused on his selections, on his um, curation here, to make sure that he is getting his message across, which is an activist almost message of sharing the culture, of promotion, an ambassador for the culture that is through music. And he has to do it in 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes or less. Uh, but that accompanied with the vocal features that come throughout the album are an explosion of energy and dance and melody rooted in the culture, a shared culture. That's why it's called FUMI, right? Which is again, it's all about the roots. It's all about family. It's all about community, right? We have folks like John Legend on this joint. Beanie Man makes an appearance. Becky G. They all bring together their distinct voices to add an emotional range to the overall project. Some of the tracks that like really stand out for me is the starting off with the opening track Jessica, which has Saint Jean on there, which Saint Jean had one of the best albums I think of 2024. Again, one of these people that's like, oh, why isn't everybody on
This is
this joint? You know what I
culturally
mean? But
inappropriate.
Saint
This
Jean
is
joint is built for
culturally
festivals, and
inappropriate.
this project itself is more of a festival kind of conglomerate of activity that's going on here. So the last project from Saint Jean called Festival Time. I think it was called like Festival. What was that joint called? Festival Season is what it was called. Yeah, Festival Season. Fits perfectly there to be an opener. It's vibrant, full of energy. It's catchy, and it sets the tone. Touchdown is going to be the one when I mentioned Bounty Killer is on this. So Touchdown a couple tracks later. Bounty Killer is on that joint. It's big, it's anthematic. It feels like a track that's meant for the stadium. So I bet that went hard at the Barclays Center. A track that you might have come across, right? That has been making the rounds is Safe. John Legend is on this joint, and it's a little bit of a slower burn, but it gives the album the contrast after a lot of party, dance, energy. This is a moment of reflection, a moment to kind of like take a breath, take a little bit of a breather. Um, and then it picks right back up with with the closing track of oh ah, right. And in this one, Paul Bobrum is on this, and we featured his last project, Paul Bobrum, which is such a beautiful yeah, Limiala. That joint is just beautiful. It's just great music. You don't even need to understand Haitian Creole to appreciate that album. It's one of these where the music itself, it's soulful. It's the instruments are intricate on that album. Don't get me started again on that Bobrum project. But he's featured on here on the closing track. Great place for to tuck him in there on this compilation. It it's a short closer. This joint is it's only a minute and 52 seconds, but it's well placed. It leaves a great taste um, to land the plane on. It is rooted in the soulful, celebratory, just like the Madrid project. It's a celebration of family, of connectiveness. But it feels like a communal sort of send off for the journey that if you listen through, like 'cause it's only 30 minutes, so it shouldn't be that heavy of a lift. FAMI Volume One earns high remarks in my book. It delivers what it is promised. It's a soundtrack of connection, celebration. It does sound like they're chasing singles. And for Michael to be, I don't know if he identifies as an activist, but like I sort of see him like having this job of being like a cultural ambassador. You may want to make a project full of singles because hopefully one of them hits. Cardi B just dropped a project that it's a little bit of controversy that is going platinum already on the first day, right? Wait, why is it going platinum? Well, because she put songs like WAP and Up. I think WAP and Up are on the project. These songs have been out for a couple of years, and they're already like 7 times platinum, 5 times platinum. And it's like you automatically, stitch that onto the new project. You're gaming the algorithm. Because you already got those millions of, probably hundreds of millions of views by now. I don't know how much, probably, that these tracks already have. 70 million views here, 100 million views there. The album's already going to be platinum, right? Because these tracks are included. So I get it. You got to get one of these singles to hit, especially if you got a message that you're trying to put out. So um, it does feel at times like it's a compilation of disparate tracks, but they're all fire. they're all good in their own right. The different flavors, the different styles, and it does feel like maybe a playlist. Michael Brun put a playlist together. Um, but all in all, it's a celebration. It's connection. He brings together these voices across continents, across languages, across genres, blending the Haitian identity with the broader diaspora, connecting us all. I know there's oftentimes these divisive conversations amongst the community, the black community, the ADOS community, the African community, then even the Caribbean community. But we all black. Those of us that are black. We even had Locksmith. I mean, he's um he's he's blended. I mean, he's black and I think Iranian. He identifies as black and he presents as black, right? So um, we're stronger together than we are apart. And at a time like right now, where bigots are being um, um, idolized and is the term Leninized? Being going through sainthood posthumously, being presented as if they are the Martin Luther King of our time when they are actually white supremacists, when they are actually advocating for the demise and the retrograde behavior of people that look like me. They're advocating for that. They want to go back to a time when dot dot dot. We at a time like this specifically need to come together. We need to surround ourselves with true history, true togetherness, grounded in the roots that are familiar to our ancestors, to our same shared ancestors, if we go back far enough. None of this arbitrary 100 years from now, 100 years ago, 50 years ago. When that shit really got popping, when that shit got popped off, we had a shared DNA, we had a shared grandparent. We got divided, they divided us, and then we embraced the division. Michaël Brun ain't on that. There's a larger picture here. There's a bigger connection here. And he's bringing this together with a soundtrack of celebration, a soundtrack of movement, and of togetherness.